Teleshikues të nderuar, mirë se takohemi përsëri përmes valeve të ACTV, televizioni i komunitetit shqiptar në Michigan, por që do të transmetohet përmes valeve elektronike kudo që ka shqiptar në rrezullin tokor. Sot kemi rastin dhe nderin dhe kënaqësinë e posaçme që të kemi një personalitet tani më të njohur në diasporën shqiptare të Amerikës. Është fjala për një djalosh të ri, një kandidat për Kongresin e Shteteve të Bashkuara të Amerikës. Pra, kemi nderin që sot në emisionin tonë Studio e Hapur të kemi republikanin kandidatin për Shtetet Bashkuara për politikën e Kongresit në Shtetet Bashkuara të Amerikës. Një zan jo një fuqishëm i ardhshëm i shqiptarëve në Kongres, Robert Lulgjuraj. Për Robert Lulgjuraj kishim shumë për të folur, sepse ka një karrierë shumë të fortë të fuqishme. Roberti është një ndër ata që shpresojmë që të mrin në majat e politikës, që zani i fuqishëm i shqiptarëve përmes këtij vllau ton të njihet në shtëpinë e bardhë, në Kongres dhe aty ku është nevoja e shqiptarëve. Roberti ka lind këtu në Michigan. Babai i tij ka ardhur 4 vjeçar së bashku me babain e tij, pra gjyshi i Robertit është Martifrani Lulgjuraj, kurse baba është kolla i Martifranit. Kjo është gjenerata e dytë që po rritet këtu në Amerikë. Roberti ka pas një sukses të madh në jurisprudencën në ligjin amerikan. Ka qenë zëvendës prokuror i distriktit më të madh në Michigan në Wayne County. Pra ka një sukses të madh në jetën e tij shkollore dhe tani po i përvishet edhe politikës. Mbase reprezentuesi i Amerikës në Kongres, cili bani të mundur që Roberti të shkoj për në Kongres, sepse a ju tërhoq dhe tani vendi ti ju lëshu Robertit. Roberti fillimisht filloi me shqiptarët, sepse është biri një malsori. Malsoret jo për të thonë këtu, por janë ata të parët që në Amerikë e kanë dhëz zjarrin e çështjes shqiptare. Janë ata që me flamur në dorë, me protesta e pankarta, kanë kërkuar lirinë e Kosovës dhe demokracinë e Shqipërisë në për Washington, New York, Michigan, Chicago e gjithkund tjetër. Prandaj ndoshta vetë Zoti e ka dhënë që Roberti, një bir i një malsori të ndershëm, një familje ndershme nga gruda e malësisë kreshnike, të jetë edhe reprezentuesi i parë në Kongresin e Shteteve të Bashkuara të Amerikës. Robert, së pari mirë se ke ardhur në studion ACTV, televizioni i shqiptarëve të Michiganit, dhe të urojmë uratën e kombit, uratën e Zotit që të shkosh në Kongres. Mirë se ka në studion tonë.
Faleminderit, Luigj. Mirë mbrëma vllazën. Faleminderit shumë të keni thirrur mua me ardhur. Honored to be here. Thank you, Teddy. Thank you, Luigi. Thank you, Edward. It's a beautiful studio, Fort Bucurt, and yeah, I'm honored to be here. I'm very thankful. I know we had tough scheduling, Luigi, but thank you so much. I'm honored to be here and thankful, and let's get an Albanian American in the halls of Congress. How does that sound to you?
That's going to happen. Our doors are always open for you. ACTV going to follow you from step one to the end until we come to do interview with you in the United States Congress. We promise you that.
And you're welcome to our office.
Mandej kemi edhe një djalosh të ri në studio që të na shoqëroj bisedën, është Teddy Mene, është një aktivist, një djalosh i ri cili ka ardhur tash 2 vjet nga Tirana, vazhdon studimet në Macomb County për të drejtën ndërkombëtare, për biznesin e drejtës ndërkombëtare. Do të thotë, shpresojmë që një ditë edhe Teddy do të ketë sukses edhe në politikë. Teddy, mirë se ke ardhur, aktivist, dhe shpresojmë se ne jemi duke u plakë, shpresojmë se rinia do të vazhdojnë rrugën tonë sigurisht.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I cannot say anything about politics, as you said. I cannot promise anything for the future about my involvement, but I want to thank the people because this is possible only because of them. The opportunity that you give me, of course, thank you so much, but is because of the people, and through them we are going to make possible every mission that we have, and we are going to be represented by an Albanian in Congress, I hope, in the near future. Falenderoj për ftesën dhe Shpresoj që të kemi një analizë sa më konstruktive këtu bashkë.
Të lumbuja.
Sterling Heights Republican Robert Lulgjuraj launched his campaign for Michigan's 10th Congressional District on August 7 to seek an open congressional seat in what could be probably of the most politically competitive races in 2026 and help decide which political party controls the United States House. This is going to be a very important seat. The more important seat is for us, for Albanians, because you're going to make history, not just for you. You're going to make history for us. First question is America's first vision and Donald Trump. How will you ensure that you are effective ally for President Trump in Congress to realize his vision for peace and prosperity and better life in the United States?
Yeah, thank you, Luigj. Yeah, well, thanks for reading that article headline. Thank God that we've received great publicity, the Free Press, the Detroit News, the Washington Examiner, Real Clear Politics. We're starting to gain momentum. We're getting a lot of American publicity for this race, and we're thankful for it. And a lot of eyes are on this race, not only like locally but nationally, because there's a thin majority with the Republicans in Washington. So this is a seat that the Democrats are targeting, but also the Republicans want to hold. So the current Congressman, Luigj, is a Republican, John James, and he's vacating the seat to run for governor. So it's an open seat. These seats do not open often, once every 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And so it is time, Kohatash, I think, to get an Albanian in office. We've tried before for various offices, but I can tell you this is the best statistical chance that we have as a community to get somebody from our culture in office. And a lot of Shqiptar jeton in Macomb County. We have a lot of businesses here, and so we have the opportunity to elect our own, somebody that lives here and someone that shares our same bloodline. So we're excited, we're happy. The people, I've been pretty active in the district, Luigj, for 3 months, or about 2.5 months, I announced my candidacy, and we've been gaining momentum. But this is an America First district, what they call it. So the people in Macomb County, a lot of Shqiptar, like I said, jeton in Macomb County, it's a very wholesome community. These are blue-collar people, these are family-valued people, these are hard-working individuals, and so they do. When I meet with people, they want us to stand with this president, they want us to stand with the America First agenda, and Luigj, the America First agenda is not about left versus right, it's about what's doing right for this country, and always putting America at the forefront of this country, and that's what the citizens of this great country want, and that's what immigrants to this country that are now Americans, have assimilated to American culture like we have want. So we want the best for Luigji's family, we want the best for my family, we want the best for the American people, and we want the best for the residents and citizens of Macomb County. So if you stand with Donald Trump, if you align yourself with his value system, you're actually standing for the America First agenda, Luigj.
Law and order. You experience as a prosecutor in Wayne and Macomb counties, where you handle a lot of cases, thousands of cases, including attempt murders, auto thefts, drug trafficking, and very essential to your candidacy. How will you translate your focus on law, order, and American way into federal legislative policies?
Yeah, so very proud of my background. I was the first Albanian American Wayne County prosecutor, and I'm proud of that fact, and I was thankful to serve in that role, and I believe in public service. So my whole life is about using my education, my skills, and my background to benefit people. And so I care about people. So yeah, every day I was in a courtroom in Detroit, in Wayne County, the largest jurisdiction in Michigan, Luigj. A lot of crime in the area, high crime rate, high crime jurisdiction. And I prosecuted thousands and thousands and thousands of violent criminals, violent felonies. So I had the opportunity to prosecute almost every type of case that you can think of, and I believe in law and order. Luigj believes in law and order, the Albanians believe in law and order, and so do the American people. And so the first most important part of any civilization, any city, any area is having what we call safe streets, because people don't want to live in disarray. People don't want to live in a crime-ridden area. People don't want to be carjacked. People don't want their homes invaded. People don't want to be shot at. People don't want drugs trafficking through their neighborhoods and affecting their children and killing their children. And so the pinnacle of any society is a lawful society. And so that's what America has: a constitution, America has law and order, America has criminal statutes, and those are there to protect you, your family, and your business. And people, Luigi, will not move into an area. Americans across this country do not want to live in an area where there's crime, where they don't feel safe, where their husbands, wives, and children can't grow, can't live, can't work. And so first thing I believe in is law and order. This president believes in law and order, and so when we get to Congress, number one, there's this theory out there. It's a horrible theory. It lacks common sense. It's some people want to defund the police. I don't believe in defunding the police. I believe in standing shoulder to shoulder with them. I believe in defending them. And I believe in giving them the adequate resources, whether that be at the local level, state level, or federal level, so they can do their jobs. And I've partnered with local, state, and federal agencies when I was a prosecutor, and they're doing the important work of trying to get crime out of our communities. So as a congressman, I'll always support them. I'll always be the first to get in front of a camera to defend the work that they do. And we either have a country or we don't, Luigi. We either have laws or we don't. And in America, no man is above the law, and we put law above men.
You're going to enforce more of those laws if you come to the United States Congress.
I'm going to help enforce them. We're going to give the executive branch the resources, because when you're in Congress, you control the power of the purse. We're going to give them the money and the financial resources to secure this country and put criminals away. And we're going to look at statutes. When I'm up there, we're going to look at statutes to see if any statutes need to be strengthened so we can get criminals off the streets and in jail. And some of my opponents, I believe in letting criminals out. I don't. I believe in putting them in prison.
On the first question too, we mentioned some values represented by President Trump, and I want to mention something very important. Now, I'm not only a citizen of the United States, I'm a citizen of Albania too, and I still support these values. Of course, in America, America is going to be first. This is not division. In America, America is going to be first. In Italy, Italy is going to be first. In Germany, Germany is going to be first. That's how the world works. The other agenda, the globalization, does not work. It's a fantasy. And only these conservative values, only these patriotic values will protect the hierarchy of the real nature of the people. Për t'i thënë edhe njerëzve, një shprehje, Machiavelli thot konflikti sjell konsensusin. It's not about division. That's how the system works. Life is a complex system, and the elements have their own identity, right? If we destroy the identity, if we destroy the family, because family is where the identity starts from, we destroyed the structure that God created. Ndaj unë, edhe si qytetari i Republikës së Shqipërisë, sepse mund të thotë dikush pse ti nga Shqipëria suporton agendën e Amerikës së parë. Unë dua Amerikën së parë. Unë dua që në çdo shtet të respektohet vetë shteti, sepse është koncepti konservator. Është koncepti i një shteti me kufi të fortë, është koncepti që do të nxjisi konkurrencën globale në botë e cila na çon drejt zhvillimit. That's why I support these values. Not only as an American citizen, of course, as an American citizen, I want America to be first. That's common sense. If someone doesn't, it's unbelievable. But I support that as a value for the whole humanity. That's a really important value, and that's why we all should support that.
Thank you, Teddy. For being here 2 years, you've been integrated pretty good in American society.
Cool.
Immigration history and religious freedom. Your grandparents came to the United States in 1969. Fleeing communism, how does this history shape your commitment to fight for religious freedom, and what step you will take in Congress to protect it?
Yeah, so the First Amendment is a huge part of why my family came here, your family came here, Luigi, a lot of your viewers. And so America is founded on the belief that you have the right to practice your faith openly, freely, willingly. And America was founded on these values, Judeo-Christian values. And so that's what we believe as a country. But we welcome people to come here and practice their faith. And so there is a part of the Constitution where we don't establish a religion in the country, but we can never forget why this country was founded, and it was founded on religious values, and the people that did help found this country did believe in religious freedom and did did believe in religious liberty. And so no longer are you going to be killed and persecuted and prosecuted for being a Christian. And some people were around this world, and so were our families. And so, I'm an attorney. And so I believe the reason why the First Amendment's there is because freedom of speech and freedom of religion is one of the most singular, most important parts of any civilization, of any society. And if you can't practice your faith, and you can't speak out against your government, and you can't petition your government, then you don't have freedom, and you don't have free will. And God gives you free will. And so a lot of this is based on like religious tenets and religious doctrine, and the people that the American value system respects that. And so as a congressman, I'll never ever pass legislation that limits your ability to practice your faith, and will never limit your ability to have free speech as long as it's not violent, right? And so you have a right to petition your government, you have a right to speak out against your government, you have a right to criticize your government, and you have a right to practice your faith in a public square. And where we come from, Luigj, you could never speak ill will of your government, because if you were tortured, you were put in prison, and your whole life was decimated. And so this is America. So, you have the right to practice your faith, and it's a beautiful thing when you have democracy.
And you're going to try to keep fighting for
We're going
more
to
and
keep
more.
it 1,000%. We're going to fight every single day for people's God-given rights. And in America, it's true. We don't worship government. People in other countries, they worship government, they worship dictators, they worship administrations. We don't worship people in this country. We worship God. And I think the reason why America has flourished the way it does is because freedom, liberty, and giving people the belief in God and having that tradition. And I know it's been broken down, right? The society wants you to be more secular. Society wants you to conceal your religion, but we're not. And we're going to be proud, and I'm very proud to be Catholic. I'm very proud to be Christian. I'm very proud to come from the circumstances that I come from. And that's why my family is so ardently religious, because it was taken away from us from where we lived. So the American people are faithful people. This country was blessed with resources and freedom and prosperity. And I think when you pray to God and you have an allegiance to God, He blesses this country, and it's allowed America to become one of the most prosperous, freest places in the world. It's because we put God before we put God at the altar before we put kings and queens.
Talking about these issues, working class and UAW, what Macomb County is a working class stronghold.
Oh.
And your family has roots in an auto industry. Your grandfather worked for Chrysler. What specific economic policies you will propose to protect American worker, auto industry, and job creators in the 10th District of Michigan?
Yeah, so it goes back to your first question, Luigi, which is a great question. America First policy. So yes, my grandfather worked on the line at Chrysler. I have relatives that are in the automotive industry. I have an uncle that works in an automotive plant, and so we know how important the auto industry is to this county, is to this district that we're going to represent in Congress. And this county and this country has been decimated by the policies implemented by both Republicans and Democrats. And so when you put America first, like President Trump is, that means when you sit at the negotiating table with foreign adversaries in other countries, you put America first. You put American auto workers, you put American manufacturing, and nobody on the face of this earth has better workers than the American people. If you inspire them, if you give them the opportunity, a good economic climate to develop some of the best cars, some of the best manufacturing, some of the best American ingenuity anywhere across the world. And so we're going to empower the American worker and American manufacturing base. And I think that starts with a few things. These factories need economic relief, Luigi. They need lower taxes. They need less regulation. They need to have a good, positive business climate so they can thrive. And for far too long, a lot of foreign countries have manipulated their currency against us. They've stolen our intellectual property. They've taken our jobs. And we're no longer going to play second fiddle to globalization or the European Union or Asian countries or whatever. President Trump does stand with American auto manufacturers. He does stand with the American auto worker. He does stand for American manufacturing and American companies. And when his administration and his ambassadors and the Treasurer Secretary are negotiating with foreign countries, they're actually putting America first. When they're negotiating trade deals and contracts, they make sure that that language is benefiting us so we get the best deal, because for far too long, I think globalist politicians have sold out this country, both Republican and Democrat. And look what's happened. Why do we have such a lackluster economy in Michigan and Macomb County? Why have we lost so many auto worker jobs and manufacturing jobs? And so we're no longer going to outsource stuff, Luigi. We have to make stuff here in America. And I think the voters are recognizing that with my campaign, that we're going to align with the president, but I'm going to always have the back of the manufacturing base here in Macomb. There's also a big defense sector here in Macomb, in Sterling Heights on Mound Road. And so we make some of the best military equipment, we make some of the best vehicles, but you need politicians to put in good policy so those businesses can thrive. And so we have received the endorsement, actually, Luigi, of Brian Panabacker and the Auto Workers for Trump. That was a huge endorsement for us, and we're outside every week on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at various auto plants in Macomb County. We're putting my yard signs out there, we're holding banners, and we're passing out literature to inform the auto workers about me, about my campaign, about my value system. And so we have to stop, Luigi, being reliant on foreign countries. Because when we bring in pharmaceutical drugs, when we bring in technology, when we bring in goods and services from other countries, then we're dependent on those countries. And you saw during COVID, we struggled to bring a lot of products from various countries into America, and so that stifled our economy. So it's very simple. Build it here, build it in America. Let's levy tariffs against foreign countries. Let's put reciprocal tariffs in place with other countries, because if you build it here in America, guess what? You don't pay any tariffs.
So you're 100% behind tariffs that President put in foreign countries?
I'm 100% on board with President Trump's economic agenda, yes. And the reason why is because when they're levying tariffs on us, we should defend ourselves and our auto workers. Levy tariffs back against those companies. And you see, actually, Luigi, it's a negotiating chip. President Trump is not trying to hurt the American economy. He's not hurting the American economy. In fact, he's brought to date about $150 billion back into the American economy, and they project, the Secretary of Treasury projects, about $300 million that we're going to receive back by the end of the year. And that equates to about $5,000 back in money for each citizen in America. And so these tariffs are working because we see other foreign leaders dropping their tariffs. And you know, Luigi, we have a huge trade deficit with a lot of other countries. Why should the greatest economic catalyst country in the world, America, have a trade deficit with other countries? We shouldn't. We should be leading. We should be leading economically. We should be prosperous. And this administration is going to help us get there, and I'm going to get there. And I'm never going to forget these auto workers, and I'm never going to forget about the empty storefronts that we have, and I'm never going to forget about these empty plazas, because I drive up and down this community every day, and you're going to have the best advocate in Congress for the American worker with me in office.
Now, when we analyze the voters, we get to know their wants, all right? But the wants and needs of these voters, I'm talking only for Albanians because they'll be very important to keep in mind. When we analyze these wants and needs, we get to know the problem. Because if we don't have a strong community, we cannot help you, right? If we have a strong community, we can support you and you can go to Congress. What do you think is the biggest problem inside our community?
Yeah, well, the issues that affect the Albanian community are not different than those that affect the American community. So we have a lot of Albanians, like Luigi said, in the auto industry, and we have a lot of Albanians that are small business owners. And so what economic policies do we want to implement? Well, we want lower taxes, right? We have the highest corporate tax rate nearly in the world, and we have a lot of regulation. A lot of the regulation holds no merit. No common sense behind it, and so cut the red tape, lower taxes, give these people that start small businesses some relief, and put more money in people's pockets.
Tani e kam edhe me njerëzit. E kam për the division that we have between each other. Përçarje që ne kemi me njëri tjetrin, të ndarë në principata. different principalities. Now, how can different principalities support one candidate? Why I mention this? It's about strategy. It's about your strategy to unite the Albanians here.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have to be. Yeah, we have to be united, right? Oh, go ahead, Luigi. You want to say something?
No, just go ahead.
No.
How to involve young generation to participate in your election?
Yeah, look. Every generation. You know, when my grandparents came here, they didn't speak English. You know, they had no money in their pocket when they came to this country. All they had was respect and burni and a good value system and their family and hard work. And they went and worked on these auto lines and they didn't speak a word of English. And they sent their children to school. And the second generation, like my father and his friends, and that generation started opening businesses. And now their children, my generation, we'd be technically second generation in this country. Now we go to college. We see more Albanians in university here locally. We see more Albanians starting businesses. We see more Albanians in corporate America. We've had Albanians run for office before. And so the way we can unite is, number one, we're lucky we can unite because we all live in this area, all right? Number two, we have businesses in this area. And so, yeah, you know, is the issue, can we unite Albanians? Yes, I think this is a great cause. I think it takes a good candidate that people can get behind. I think the Albanians are starting to see, Luigi, that I'm gaining momentum, we're getting money, we're getting endorsements. And so Albanians don't want to, well, the Albanians have been very supportive up to this point, but the ones that have still been reading about us and looking at us, now they're starting to get behind us. And so, yeah, young people do play a big part of it, Teddy. And I think social media plays an aspect of it, and Albanians in America are all on social media, just like almost every other American citizen is. And so we've been trying to utilize social media to get our message out to the American voters, but also young Albanians. And we've had young Albanians volunteering on this campaign, showing up to our events. And so they've pitched in, and so when we get into office, we're going to open up pathways for them. We're going to open up doorways for them. We're going to open up internships for them. We're going to give them an opportunity to mentor them, to show them that, hey, my father came when he was 4. I went to school. I networked. I pushed. I did public service. I gave back. And if you want to get into corporate America, we have Albanians to help you. You want to get into the legal field, we have Shqiptar to help you. You want to get into politics, guess what? We have now our own children that are going to start getting into politics. So we can help these young Albanians, we can make them prosper because we're hardworking people, we're ethical people, we love America, we love our family, we want peace, we want prosperity, we want low crime rates, we want our parents that are working hard labor jobs to be in a good economic climate so they can prosper, so their children and their grandchildren have resources and can inherit money like a lot of other people have in this country. And so, there's we can look to a lot of other ethnic groups that have immigrated. Jewish populations, Italian, Greeks, Ukrainians, Irish. There have been so many other ethnicities that came to this country before us.
Yes.
And they've started to pave a way. And I think they've done it by hard work and assimilating to American values, but you never want to forget where you came from. And so, Teddy, you're going to play a part in it. Luigi is going to play a part in it. And our whole, we got to tell them to unite and get behind us and get behind this campaign. And Albanians don't realize we have money now to get people in office. Okay, we have financial resources. We have businesses. People respect our businesses in this area. And now there's enough of us population-wise, Teddy, that if they were to register to vote, we could put you in office. And so I think it's time that we start.
We have the numbers.
We have the numbers.
We have everything ready. It's about the people now.
We're going to have to work on it in future in our community to get more united.
Just
because every community got some divisions,
of course,
between themselves.
You're right.
Let's go to subject Albanian American representation, to just continue in what you said. The 10th district has high concentration of Albanian American residents, and if you elect, you will be the first Albanian American in Congress after Gjokaj, the Italian Albanian American, 1986. What does this mean for you and our community? And what have you learned from this very patriotic Albanian community?
Yeah, so my grandfather, Nipi Marti Fernandez,
Yes,
and,
yes.
and my father, they were born in Malsi, Mala, Malezi,
Yeah.
and my mom's family's from Kelmend, northern Albania.
Yeah.
And so I'd be honored to be the
Albanian.
the first full-blooded Albanian American in the halls of Congress. And nobody on the face of this earth is going to represent you with more pride and more honesty and more character than me. If you help us get there, and I'm from this community, I go to church in this community, I understand this community. I grew up in a traditional family household, and so I understand the plights of our community, and the plights of our community I don't think are that much different at all from the American people. And so we're going to represent you, Luigi, with honor and dignity, and I'm never ever going to forget where I come from, and I'm so proud of my last name. And I've interviewed at the White House multiple occasions. I've interviewed in Washington, D.C. I've met congressional leaders, and I'm very proud to tell people about my ethnic heritage story. I'm proud to tell them that I'm an Albanian American, and I'm proud of our immigrant story, because our immigrant story is the American dream story, and it's a beautiful story. And so I can't wait to get to Congress and to tell my colleagues about me the same way I did when I was at the prosecutor's office. Very proud to tell people about my background, and I'm going to do the same thing when I get in Congress. And we're going to stand up, obviously, for America, because I'm a United States congressman, and we're always going to put the American people first. But the ethnic heritage and lineage that I come from is also very pro-American. The people of Albania are pro-American. The people of Kosovo are pro-American.
Sure.
And those ambassadors, I've had the opportunity to speak with them. They're great partners with this country, strategically, militarily, economically, but there's growth, right? There's always more growth to a relationship, and we can always be stronger and closer. And I look forward to helping spread that message. And when any atrocities happen against our people, Luigi, I'm going to be the first person to stand up in front of a camera to articulate that, to talk about that, because I do come from this community, and I'm always going to keep an eye out, and that's always going to be on the forefront of my mind, right? And so I can't wait to lead a delegation, actually, when we get to Congress, of my colleagues, and take them to Albania and take them to Kosovo.
With McLean and
Yeah,
Albanian
Congresswoman
caucus.
Lisa McLean has done a great job on the Albanian caucus, and she's very close to the community, and she would be the neighboring congresswoman just north of us, and she has an absolute phenomenal reputation, and she's doing a great job in Washington and her leadership, and so she's been a good steward of this community and all the other people that live in her district, and I want to be a partner. I want to partner with her and other congressional leaders like her, because they're paving the way, and I'm just looking to help. I just want to help them make it easier, and we will. And so when I get to the halls of Congress, Luigi, we're going to be on that Albanian caucus, and I'm going to be proud to be on that caucus.
Next question. Political balance of District 10th, I'm sure you studied that, is considered fairly evenly divided. But Macomb County has clearly shifted to the right.
Yes.
How do you plan to win over independent voters or those who live historically supported Democrats, given the importance of this race for the majority in the House of Representatives?
Yeah, so I do believe that this seat's going to hold Republican, and we're in a great spot. I mean, I'm sitting in front of you at ACTV right now. I'm the leading Republican candidate for U.S. Congress. We're going to make history. And so this seat's going to hold red. We're going to have the resources for it to hold red. The president's doing a phenomenal job economically, militarily, and with law and order. And so people are going to be on board with that agenda. The American people are going to be on board with that agenda, and they are. And the people in this district are, the more and more that I go around and speak with them. Now, how do we win over independent voters? Well, some of the issues that we're going to articulate, Luigi, are non-political, right? It does. It goes back to America first. It shouldn't be political. One side wants to make it political, but when you put American jobs first, when you put American manufacturing first, when you put protecting American families first, when you put the American border first, when you put American energy policy first, when you put American trade ideals first over foreign adversaries, that impacts everyone, whether you're red or blue. It's going to benefit your life, and it's going to make you more prosperous and safer. And so one thing that as far as I can garner, Luigi, I'm the only candidate, both on the Republican side and the Democrat side, that was born, raised, and lives in this district. So I am born and bred in Sterling Heights, in Macomb County, and this county is going to get representation from somebody that's from this area, not someone that's moving in for political gain, not someone that left after high school or college and lived in another state and then came back recently to run for office. No. I've been in this community. I pray in this community. I shop in this community. I am a son of this community. And independent voters, Democrat voters, Republican voters want someone pro-American, want someone patriotic, want someone that's honest, want someone that I think has a resume like me, I've always given, and served and served and served. And I've never tried to chase wealth or prestige. I've always just tried to serve others. And I've used my God-given talents to serve others. And people want that as a public servant. So I believe in something called backing the home team or being with the home team. And so I'm always going to stand up for the people in this district because I'm from here and it raised me. And I went to elementary and middle school here. And I care about my neighbors and I care about the businesses. And I care about the makeup of this county. And I've already built really good relationships with a lot of local and state leaders in this community. And they know that they can call me anytime. They can invite me. I'm going to show up and I'm going to be a representative of what they want. And I'm going to be the most transparent congressman that we're going to have in this district. And so we're going to win independent voters over with our resume and our heart and our truthfulness and our patriotism for this country. And being from this district, and I think people are going to realize that we're the best person for the job.
Teleshikues të nderuar, është fjala për një vëlla tonin që të krijojmë historinë. Ky duhet të shkojë në Kongres, jo vetëm për Robertin, por për të gjithë ne, për diasporën shqiptare pa dallim feje, krahinë dhe ideje. Ky do të reprezentojnë shqiptarët. Ky është një amerikano-shqiptar I lindur këtu që bashkëpunon me të gjithë. Now, next question, I'm aware that you're working closely with the churches, Albanian churches, with the Albanian Mosque, with the Albanian Bektashi Center, with everybody, without being any kind of division there. All united, Robert for Congress.
Right.
Is that the ticket? That's the truth?
Yeah, and back to Teddy's point, how do you unite? Well, it takes a candidate to unite. It takes somebody that can lead. It takes somebody with proper messaging. And so I've gone around to all the people in all the Albanians in this area, in this district, and let them know that, hey, you get an Albanian American in the halls of Congress, it's going to be history for our community, and we're crafting history every single day, and we're not going to leave anyone behind. And we're going to do the same thing. I mean, every part of this district, it's a vast district. Whether you live in Rochester Hills to Harrison Township to Utica all the way down to East Point. We're not going to forget anyone. And regardless of who they are, where they live, what their religious background is, what their ethnicity is, what their socioeconomic background is, we don't care. We represent you. We care about you. You're an American. And we're going to make sure that the system never takes advantage of you or no one else does. And so we're going to be the leading voice for all these people when we get to Washington, D.C., and we're going to make them proud, and we're going to unite all of them.
Go ahead. You want to add something?
I'm going to share something. And are you looking forward to do a campaign with students only? So you turn them into a political resource, because people are a political resource, and not only for votes. Votes it's not about resource. Votes is about the power that the people have. But turning them into a resource it's more about strategy. So can you do in the future a campaign with students or young people only?
Yeah, we want young people to be a part of this campaign. Absolutely. Yeah, we can't get there.
I'm asking for you to do only for them.
Into young Albanian student organizations that spoke before, and so young people are going to be a catalyst in this campaign for sure. I mean, we were up at Mackinac Island at the Republican conference a few weekends ago. We had 12 or 14 young people from various colleges across Michigan wearing our T-shirts because they believe in our principles, they believe in our values, and I'm one of the youngest candidates that's running anywhere in the state. And so by virtue of me being a young person is something that they are assimilating with and they're buying into, and they know, young people realize, I think this is why we have so much social media momentum as well, Teddy, is there's a lot of people in Congress that are so old that they're out of touch with their voters, right? And so, you know, we make a joke on the campaign trail, and it really, I think, sets in the heart of young people is you have congressional leaders on both sides of the aisle that have one foot in the grave and one foot in Congress. How can you be attentive to the needs of the people when you have trouble staying awake in a congressional hearing? Or I believe we had a president last administration using the auto pen. We don't even know if he had the mental acuity to carry out his presidential duties. And so, yeah, there's something to be said with having a young candidate with legal acumen who has a passion for service to go to Congress. And so, you know, I'm going to be attentive to the needs of young people in this district, and you know, young people want a good economic climate. Young people want, you know, a safe area. Young people want to know that they're going to get a job out of college, right? And so, you know, we're going to do a good job of getting young, you know, because we need young people in this campaign, and we've had young people volunteering, interning, and helping us out in this campaign, and we're just going to continue to build.
I believe that when I mention that, I'm not worrying if you will do a good job with young people or not. I'm always referring to the previously mentioned strategy. I'm always referring to using them as the key to whole population, not only for young people.
Well, let me mention this to you. If you want to talk about strategy of young people, look what our president's done. He's got, I believe, one of the youngest, if not the youngest, one of the youngest vice presidents in the history of this country, in J.D. Vance.
True.
When he was a senator, he was in his late 30s when he became the senator of Ohio. If you see the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, similar immigration story to all of us, very young man. I believe this cabinet is, if not the youngest, one of the youngest cabinets in United States history. We have a gentleman that I care deeply about, that I took a lot of courage from, that someone I looked up to, someone that inspired me to run for office, is Charlie Kirk. He was a conservative activist going to these college campuses, espousing Christian and conservative values on campus. Him and I were born in the same year. And so the Detroit News actually called me after he was killed. And I believe he was killed for 3 reasons. He was killed because he was a Christian, he was conservative, and he was young.
Future of Republican Party.
He's the future of the Republican Party, future of the conservative movement. And when you're that young and you're going to college campuses and you're changing the minds of young people, he would get thousands of people in these courtyards and in these squares, and these diaphragms at these college campuses. And he changed a lot of hearts. He changed a lot of minds. He had a whole bunch of young people register to vote. He got them out to vote in this last election. And so I'm a similar age, similar political philosophy as Charlie Kirk. You know, we share the same Christian faith. And one of the media outlets asked me, are you nervous about your candidacy? You're young, conservative, you're running for office, you have a lot of similarities with Charlie Kirk. And I said, look, we need more young people involved in the political process. We're never, ever going to back down just because some crazy, mentally deranged person who doesn't like conservatives killed Charlie Kirk. We're not going to live in fear.
You're not going to stop.
And you know, and obviously, I'm a strong, patriotic American who comes from Albanian ethnicity. I was raised not to have fear. I was raised to be a fighter. I was raised to work hard, and that's our Albanian American identity. But that's the identity of the people.
How you like that his wife forgive the killer?
Well, I believe that goes to her. Well, first of all, God bless her, and our prayers are with her. And now she's got to raise young children without their father, right? It all goes to the nuclear family. It's sad that they're in that predicament, but everyone's going to rally around them. And I say sorry for her loss, and God bless her and her family. And I'm sorry that her husband was killed so senselessly. But the fact that she turned around, you know, she probably has more courage and a bigger heart than a lot of us. And I think she did it because she was a person of faith, because God and Jesus teaches us to forgive your enemy, right?
That represents strength.
I give her a lot of credit. I do.
It represents strength, the fact that she forgave.
You are just in the beginning of election. You got way to go.
Yes.
So far, how happy you are with the involvement of Albanian community, with the help of Albanian community. You gonna be elected as a United States Congressman, not just for Michigan, for all over United States. Do you, I'm talking for Albanians, do you planning to make campaigns in New York, large Albanian population, Chicago, Dallas? You have any plans? Or you allowed to go there with our help or our connection that we have families and friends there? Do you got intents to go there in those states and get some money for fundraising? Because everybody know that without money we cannot be elected. Doesn't matter what you do, we need funds to be elected. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here, Luigi. I'm
Yes,
so thankful
yes.
to be in front of you.
Yes.
Thank you again for interviewing me. And like I said earlier, I'm the leading Republican candidate in a Republican district. I couldn't be happier. I can feel the momentum. And we've had so many endorsements, we're starting to lose track of how many that we're receiving, and we're putting them out on social media every day, and now we're starting to do them twice a day. And so people are rallying behind us, and I have to thank my community for getting me to this point. Number one, for helping to raise me in my church and in my community and with the values that we have, but they've stepped up financially. Now, in politics, you always need resources, right? It's the most important part. It's the lifeline. You could be the best candidate in the world with the best resume, but if you don't have the financial resources to project your message with commercials and billboards and yard signs and et cetera, social media, then you're not going to be that effective. And so yes, we do need resources. If anyone believes in our movement, I don't buy into people's agenda, Luigi, they buy into our agenda. And so please, if people can register to vote, if Albanians can financially contribute, please do, because we have been fundraising a lot, but it's not enough. We still have a far way to go. And so yes, we'll go anywhere. We'll go anywhere to meet American voters. We'll go anywhere to meet Albanian Americans, people that believe in our cause, people that share our values, people that want to see a brighter and more prosperous America, people that want to help us restore and defend America. We'll gladly partner with you and stand beside you. And yeah, we'll go to New York, and we'll go to Illinois, and we'll go to Florida. And so yeah, we need your connections, Luigi, we do, and Teddy. And we need you to help spread the word, and we need you to help people help fundraise for us and give us money. And look, I just want to make one point clear. We are not a bought candidate. We can't be bought. I believe in loyalty to this country, and I believe in loyalty to my district. I don't have some wealthy super PAC behind me, Luigi. I don't have some big corporation behind me, sometimes like the left does, or they have the mass media behind them. I don't come from a family of exceptional wealth. All right, I'm the grandson of a dishwasher and the son of two people that are in labor service industries. And so I have a true American dream story. We're going to defend the American dream every day in Congress. But because I come from humble beginnings, that's going to make me a better public servant. But my money so far, our money for this campaign, because it's not my campaign, it's Luigi's campaign, it's Teddy's campaign, it's the Albanian American people's campaign, and it's the people of 10th District's seat. This is their seat. And we're just going to serve for them. So our money's been coming from dishwashers and auto workers and waitresses and small business owners and painters.
You left your full-time job. You used to have a beautiful job, making good money, and you decide to dedicate yourself 24/7 to be elected in next election as a United States Congressman. And you're doing so far very well.
Yeah, I wasn't making a ton of money, still living paycheck to paycheck. I was raised paycheck to paycheck, so no Democrat or no Republican can ever lecture me on that. I know what it's like to struggle, come from a struggling family, and to be a public servant. And when you become a prosecutor, Luigi, you don't do it for the money. That I can tell you. And so I did it to serve my country, which I love. And yes, I did. I gave up my job. I gave up a pension. And I did it all because I see a need and a void for leadership right now. Someone to step up right now. A new young generation of leadership to get this county organized, to get our community organized, to get the business community organized. We've been endorsed by the Southeastern Michigan Chamber of Commerce, which I'm very proud of. And people want leadership. People want somebody that cares. People want someone that loves their neighbor and loves their country. And that's exactly why I have this American flag and Albanian flag here on my pin. And we love this country, we love this district, we love the American people, and we're gonna have undying loyalty and fidelity to the people here. And so yeah, I have no problem giving up my job to sacrifice, but we just need all of you to sacrifice a bit for us in this campaign too, and get the message and call your friends. All of you have a ton of contacts in your phone, and you know your neighbors, and we have businesses in this district, and so if you all spread the word, we can create a movement. And honest to God, Luigi, I feel it. We've actually, just in 3 months, we've covered so much ground, I think you would be astonished. And so let's keep going, and if we do this district, it's large, it's a congressional district, but it's still pretty compact. This is a suburban, like I said, a suburban district, and it's amazing. You can spread the word pretty quickly. And so that's exactly what we're doing, and we have momentum, and I say let's keep our foot on the gas, and let's do the right thing, and let's win this thing. And next time me and you sit down from each other, how about we sit down in Washington, D.C. together and do an interview?
I'm very happy that you represent these kinds of values. I'm very happy that you want to represent the Republican Party and all the Albanians who share these values. But now I'm going to ask a specific question. If you go to Congress, let's say you are in Congress, should we see you as a representative of the Albanian interest as well?
Yeah, you know what, I think we had mentioned it earlier in the interview. I'm always going to represent the interests of the American people, and we, as Albanian Americans, we represent everything that's great about America. We want the same thing that the American people want. We do. We have the same value system, right? That's what this country was founded on. Faith, family, and hard work. And Albanians believe that every single day, and so do the American people. Now, are there some people that don't align with that value system? Sure, but that's the minority, I think, of the American people. And so when I get to Congress, I'm going to stand shoulder to shoulder with this president, and I'm going to make sure that our Constitution is never stepped on, and I'm going to make sure that the separation of powers are always in play, and I'm going to make sure that we pass, and I'm glad that I'm an attorney because it gives me a certain skill set that we need in Congress. I'm going to make sure every time I pass a law that it's not unconstitutional, and I'm going to make sure that when we're passing legislation and we're using federal resources, we're going to have oversight over the executive branch. We want to make sure that the people in the American government are putting America first. Right? Putting America first over any other adversarial company. American trade should always go first. American prosperity should always go first. But here's the good thing about being an Albanian. And here's the good thing about us having our Kosovo brother and sisters. And I've heard it from the mouth of leaders from those communities. We are very pro-American people. These countries are very pro-American countries. We have American military bases in Albania and Kosovo. And so these are allies of America. We have embassies in Washington, D.C., where every day when the Kosovo ambassador and the Albanian ambassador go to work and meet with members of, regardless of who's in power, they meet with members of Congress on both sides of the aisle because they want to continue to have open line of communication and trade prosperity between each other and to be a good partner. And so these governments, and don't get me wrong, every government has to improve. The Albanian government and the Kosovo government can always improve and be a better partner. But these countries are very pro-American, and they articulated that to me very strongly, and they want to continue to grow and have a strong relationship, and they always will, right? We've always had a good history. The American people have always had a good history with various Balkan countries, but in particular Albania and Kosovo. And really, Teddy, I don't see that changing. And actually, as I've spoken to people in Washington and some of our congressional leaders, and I've spoken to these ambassadors, they've told me that the relationship is actually strengthening more and more every day with the President Trump administration. And when you bring peace through strength, and when you lead on the foreign stage like President Trump has, he has brought in a lot of tranquility and peace to the Balkan region and keeping bad actors from harming American interests. And you know what? America has always been a moral leader. We always stand up for atrocities. We want to see peace all over the world, and we want to make sure even our brothers and sisters in the Balkans aren't killed, aren't taken advantage of. And if that does happen, I'll be the first to get up in front of a camera and speak out against human rights violations.
That gives me the answer, and that gives me the right to call for every Albanian to support you,
Thank you.
left and right, because
you.
that is something that we all share. The answer was very professional. Dhe interesat ton geostrategjik dhe geopolitik janë shumë të lidhura me interesat e Amerikës. Kemi qenë krah për krah me Amerikën, kemi bërë gjëra madhështore me Amerikën dhe shpresojmë të bëjmë gjëra më të mëdha edhe në të ardhmen, qoftë në Amerikë dhe qoftë në vendet tona me një marrëdhënie sa më të ngushtë. Kështu që kjo është për mua arsyeja dhe kjo është edhe ai bashkimi I të dy krahëve kur vjen puna për interesin ton specifik. Të falenderoj. Thank you so much.
Robert, my last question. As an Albanian with a beautiful name, Robert, beautiful last name, Lulgjuraj.
Of course.
Your parents came from Malsia, from Gruda.
Right.
It's very patriotic region of Selishti. They got history. Lulgjuraj, it's tough to pronounce. Do they see it so far? They try to pronounce it that right, and they try to live with that last name? Or do you have any problems found in pronunciation of your last name with the American voters?
You're exactly right. It's a beautiful name. It's a beautiful last name. I'm so proud of it.
Exactly.
And I'm so proud of my family's history. And we're patriotic people of where we come from, but we're even more patriotic and thankful to be in America. And I have a story that's, again, only possible in America, but I have a story that's a true American story. And when I get up in front of groups and when I get up in front of rooms and I articulate our legal immigration story, people respect it. And people are so grateful that people like us, Albanians in this community, are part of the community. And I got to tell you, Luigi, Lulgjuraj on Shfisi Imale, and a lot of people have gone to school with the Lulgjuraj. A lot of people have gone to school with Gjokajs. We've been in this community for 60, 70 years. And we have thriving businesses in this community, and we live in this community. And so a lot of people in this county, I can't tell you, they are exceptionally familiar with Albanians. A lot of people know Albanians, and I get so much positive feedback for me coming from Albanian lineage, and we're never ever gonna hide from it. And I told the White House and I told people in Washington, D.C., I'm so proud to be an Albanian American, and I'm so proud that we're gonna make history with this campaign with all your help. And if people have difficulty pronouncing it when they meet me, it's very simple. I explain to them how to pronounce it, and I tell people my last name may be hard to pronounce, but my values are very easy to understand, and it's America first, right? It's American workers, American energy, American tax policy, American workers, American borders, the American Constitution. That's what makes America uniquely different than anywhere else on the face of the earth. And if people just have exposure to me, Luigi, then they get on board with our campaign. They want to vote for us. They want to donate to us. And so we just got to get there. We just got to get out. And we are. And I'm getting out every single day. I can't tell you. I mean, my calendar's filled from the early morning to late at night. And education is a part of any campaign. Even if my name was John Smith, nobody would know who I am, right? It takes resources, knocking doors, visiting businesses. So regardless of your name, you have to interact with voters, and that's what I'm doing. And so there's a lot of people in politics that have difficult last names. There's a lot of ethnicities of immigration lineage of people that have been in Congress. And so it's been done before by other people. We can do it as well. And so I can't wait to do it. I'm so proud to do it. And we're going to get an Albanian there, and it's going to make history. And I just want to thank you, Luigi, for this interview. You know, you grew up with my grandfather and my family, and we know each other, and we consider you a family friend. And we thank you for what you do for the Albanian community and with this program. And I have a lot of respect for you, and my family does too. And God bless you and thank you. And I know you've been waiting for this a long time, and so I have the other people that are in this studio as well. And we're going to put the Albanian people on the map.
Thank you.
We are.
Falenderoj që ishe këtu me ne, se po flas shqip që është për njerëzit. Falenderoj për mundësitë që na dhe. Aktivistë si puna ime dhe të tjerë kanë obligim që të jenë pjesë e këtyre emisioneve, për arsye se detyra ime është llogaridhënia dhe transparenca ndaj popullit. Shpresoj që ti të ndash të njëjtat vlera deri në fund të fushatës, sepse vetëm ashtu do të arrish fitoren. Të uroj shumë fat.
Teleshikues të nderuar, ishte kjo e gjitha që kishim përgatit për sonte. Me Robertin kemi me pas raste përsëri. Këto janë vetëm 3 muajt e parë të ultimit të tij drejt Kongresit Amerikan. Pra, vllazën e motra shqiptar pa dallim, kudo që jeni dhe nga do që jeni, çdo fjalë mirë, vota juaj, ndihmesa juaj, kontributi juaj, Robert Lulgjuraj for Congress, çdo dollari juaj do të shkojnë për një qëllim të shejt politik, i cili do të ngrisin zanin ton, diesën tuaj, vullnetin tuaj, 60-70 vite të punës tuaj që të çojmë në Amerikë, në shtëpit bardhë në Kongres, që zani i Robert Luigj është zani jonë, a zani i të vërtetës. E duam Robertin, we love you, we wish you all the best. Republikan dhe demokrat, kësaj here është fjalla për vllaun ton, për zanin ton. Edhe çdo vot, edhe çdo demokrati që nuk menon politikisht si Roberti, por kombëtarisht për një gjuhë, për një za, për një traditë tonë të bukur shqiptare. Prandaj vllau jon Robert do të na reprezentojnë atje si shqiptar, pa dallime të fesë, krahinës dhe ides. Është Roberti jon, Roberti shqiptarve. Me kaq, unë Luigj Gjokaj, studio e Hapur. Mirë takofshim në emisione tjera. Ju falenderoj edhe një herë Robert që ishit me ne.
Natën e mirë.
Natën e mirë.